Oh my God, this is gonna make it
Perfect.
worse. This is gonna make the Biff even
It's
worse
gonna be
because
a fantastic score, and it's gonna
oh,
haunt us in our dreams.
I can't with this. This box is gonna haunt me.
Play ball!
Welcome to Ordinary Effort, where a bunch of random guys get some random baseball players and try not to biff the grid. Mike here with my buddy Josh, and we are on Immaculate Grid 349. And I gotta say, I feel really, really good that we decided to
Mm.
start bouncing around. This one's exciting for me because it's wide open, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we play the grid daily, so it's nice to see these categories that give you a lot of flexibility to remember those just random guys in your brain. So yeah, I'm pumped for this one. Yeah, where do you want to start? I mean,
Oh, I mean, this is almost too broad.
yeah,
It's fine, it's
yeah,
good, but I kind of want to save the Mets for the end just because I feel
yeah,
like those are going to be my better answers. But do you want to go a little different, go across the bottom? Because
yeah.
30 stolen bases kind of concerns me.
Yeah, that's the one I think that is going to require the most uh rigid thinking. So, I mean, 30 stolen bases Rangers. Do you have anybody in mind?
Uh, so kind of.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if Elvis Andrews
Oh,
would have had 30. He may have been, I don't know him well enough to know for sure.
yeah.
Um, There's a guy though that play. I want to say he played probably in the late '90s, early 2000s, and I don't know. I must have had his card or something because, like, I don't know why I would know him otherwise. It wasn't a guy I had in fantasy. Are you familiar with Tom Goodwin? I think he was like a center fielder for the Rangers.
I'm not familiar with that,
Okay,
but I believe you. It's
yeah,
funny, like we all have these guys we had baseball cards for, and I like,
yeah.
yeah, I didn't have Tom's card, but yeah.
I want to say that I think he was an outfielder, and I want to say he had pretty decent speed.
Okay.
Might have hit leadoff for them. I don't remember, but for some reason that name came to mind. I mean, the only like
Yeah.
I got I got I mean Josh Hamilton wasn't a stolen base guy like that, right? Like
I was
he
trying to think that too. Like, I feel like Seager had a ton of stolen bases for the Dodgers, but I don't know if he's been the
oh
same like
hmm,
speed guy for the Rangers. He's also struggled with a couple injuries. So, like, I don't know if
yeah.
he's also been more in the middle of the order for them, right? So, I don't know if they're having him run as much. So, I just don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know if Seager's the stolen base guy. Semien, Marcus Semien might be
yeah,
though.
yeah, that's
Um,
right. But did he get 30?
he's probably very close. If he didn't, he's probably upper 20s over the last couple of years. I, I can't believe that Tom Goodwin is the one that's really like settling to the top for me, but it
I
is.
mean, I'm good with it.
We're gonna.
I'm good
I
with it.
hope. I
Yeah.
really hope we don't start with a Biff.
Yeah.
Goodwin. It would help if I spelled it correctly.
Okay.
Okay,
Nice. Yeah.
2%.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell
Awesome.
you
Guess he
anything
played for
else
the
about him.
Royals
I,
too.
I guess so. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks,
All
Tom.
right.
Shortstop. So there's some options here, of course, right? Like, you know, fast position often.
Yeah. I mean, Semyon played short
Yep.
before he moved to, and I don't think it's that they have to have played the position the same season they stole 30 bases
You're
either.
right.
I think
Yep.
Semyon would have, if he stole 30, it was as a shortstop. I think it was before he moved to second base. But, um, I mean, yeah, there are a good amount of, I mean, speed guys, right?
There's a guy
Um,
that comes to mind, older player, and I only know this name because obviously I'm a Yankees fan, and I watched a documentary about Derek Jeter, and his role model at shortstop was Luis Arpaccio. Am I saying the name right? And I
sure.
just I don't. I'm pretty sure he was a speed guy. It's
Well,
APAR. Um,
oh, Louis Aparicio.
thank you, Aparicio. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry
Yeah.
to the family for butchering the name.
I mean, that
But
was,
I'm pretty sure he's a speed guy, and be fairly confident he had 30 stolen bases. But there's likely others we could think about here at the position.
I've heard the name. Was he White Sox?
I think he
I
was.
feel like he was
I want to say he was Tigers or no, no, no. Yeah, you're right. White Sox. White Sox. Yep.
okay because I
White
remember I
Sox.
went to a game in Chicago 15 years ago, and he was
Yeah.
probably he might have been one of their Hall of Famers. Didn't know he played
Yes.
shortstop.
Yes, he's a White
Uh,
Sox. So I mean, I would feel pretty good about putting him down, but of course, shortstop has a lot of other guys. Probably, if we
I mean,
think
like
about it,
I feel like Jimmy Rollins is the low hanging fruit here.
Ozzy, would he have? I mean, right? I don't know.
The only thing I think of when I think of Ozzie Smith is defense.
Yeah,
Like I don't,
true, true.
and I'm sure he was a fantastic hitter too, but like, and I don't know how he was on the base paths.
Yeah,
I mean, if then you have like Francisco Lindor, probably did it. For
Mookie ever steal 30 bases for like, and he's
oh,
played shortstop
he
now.
does play shortstop now. Oh, I like that one actually. That's a good one because
Right? I'm
the
just wondering,
shortstop is
like, in
yeah.
he probably is. I
I like
have,
it. I like how we're like, oh yeah, let's go for like a real obscure guy and like
yeah,
Mookie Betts.
yeah,
Like,
right. But to be fair, I
man.
don't think we've put Mookie on a grid yet, maybe, but
Uh, okay.
so it's an option if you've. I don't know if you have a recollection if he stole 30. He probably did,
I
right?
think he did. Oh, you know
Yeah.
who else started at shortstop earlier in his career and then moved. He was a second baseman. He was an outfielder. Jose Ramirez. I had both of these guys on
Mm,
my fantasy team at the same time a few years back. So
mm.
uh, I feel pretty confident that one or both of them probably had 30 and
Well,
have would qualify as shortstops.
sneaky one too. Recent. Did Ellie De La Cruz steal 30 last year? Was he up long enough to have done 30? Obviously, at the
Mm,
time of recording this, he's on this ridiculous pace for over 100 or something. I
yeah.
just don't know last year if he would have hit 30. I don't know.
I feel like he probably did. Um,
But a lot of
I'm
guys might think
yeah.
of him too. I don't know. So
The
we've got some options here. We've got Mookie. We've got um, up.
I so Mookie is like top of mind right now playing shortstop. Jose Ramirez probably hasn't played shortstop
Yeah,
since like 2015, 14, 15.
yeah.
I kind of want to go
And you feel good he played shortstop early in his career or
yeah, because
not?
I had him in fantasy and he had like second, third short outfield eligibility.
Yeah.
So
I'm good with
um
that. I'm good with that. Yeah.
the most obscure guy, Jose Ramirez, 0.3%.
You know
My
what?
God.
Hidden gem. So I love
Yeah.
that.
He was a hidden gem when I
Um,
found him in fantasy too, and
yeah, nice.
coming through again for me. I miss having him on my team, man.
Oh man, what a
Uh,
player.
All right, 30 stolen bases, 30 home run season batting.
Yeah. I
There's okay,
mean,
so
you got
Acuna,
Acuna, right. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
we can't use Acuna, but that's the most recent guy to do it.
Barry
Um,
Bonds,
yeah. Hmm.
Jeff Bagwell was like a
Oh,
40-30 guy.
yeah.
Um, so Tom though mentioned, I don't know if it was grid 7, 8, 9, 10, one of his appearances. We had the Reds, and he talked about how Eric Davis was a 30-30 guy.
Yes.
And I
And I
kind of want
think it
to,
was, yeah, I think it
yeah,
was, he suggested we use it for Silver Slugger and we didn't. And he was right. Eric Davis
yeah.
did win a Silver Slugger. So I'm good with this. Yeah.
Give a
Yeah.
little shout to Tom for Eric Davis. 3%.
Nice. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Nice.
So why don't we, I get you want to go to second base,
Let's do
minimum
it.
one game at second? All right.
Yeah.
Let's start on the right. Uh second base, 30 home run season batting. Brian Dozier had a
Oh,
few 40 home run seasons.
it's a good one.
Dan Ugla probably
Got
got there.
got Brett Boone.
Boone, yep.
But I think
Um,
that might be a high one. Alfonso Soriano,
oh,
Cano.
that's right, right.
Um,
Soriano, he moved around, he played a little outfield too, right? Like he
he
wasn't
did, but I think most of his Yankee career was second base. So I feel like you got someone, don't you? I can see
yep.
it.
Okay. So and thanks again to fantasy with the positional eligibility. Do you remember about probably 5 or 6 years ago, Anthony Rizzo, because of the shift,
Oh,
had second base eligibility? Do you remember this?
so I do, and now I'm wondering like. How is that reflected in like Baseball Reference? Did he actually get an appearance at second base
So
because of that?
here's what I could tell you. Jonathan Lucroy had oh no, wait, that this doesn't quite apply because he had no at bats for the
That's
Red
right. That's
Sox,
right.
but he appeared defensively. But so when if you go down to the fielding, it says like show standard fielding, and then it'll show every year and every position they played, even if it was one inning. So for Rizzo, excuse me, for Rizzo to have gotten eligibility, he had
He had to
to have
play at second
technically
base.
played second base, and
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Mm,
I'm assuming that Yahoo and Baseball Reference are on the same
yeah.
page as far as the
I'm guessing
qualifications,
that too. Yeah.
but because he's a first baseman, I kind of want
Yeah.
to,
I mean, the other ones that I'm thinking of like are like Jeff Kent, DJ
yeah,
LeMahieu.
right.
But these guys are more like obviously
Was DJ a
obvious.
30 homer guy? I don't
I
think
want
DJ hit.
to maybe not. I mean, his best offensive year was like the year he finished like fifth in the MVP voting, and I feel like he hit a decent amount of home runs. But you're right; it could be in the 20s, maybe. But so I'm good with trying Rizzo here. That's
Yeah,
really outside the box. Yeah,
I like using a guy that's like known almost exclusively for playing an
yeah.
entirely different position. So Anthony Rizzo, 0.4% hidden gem.
Nice. That's
Okay.
amazing. Yeah,
Now, second base and shortstop. This is anybody who played
yeah.
middle infield at all.
Right. And I feel
There's
like
so
this is
many
a
people we could
common,
use
like
here.
there's so many people you could use here. A
Oh,
lot of people
wow.
switch around. Like
Yeah. So,
Mariano
uh,
Duncan is the one that comes to mind for me, or Trevor Plouffe,
ooh,
who
okay.
like I just know because love some of the John Boy Media content.
Mm,
Trevor's a commentator on that. I
okay.
know on a lot of the teams he played for, he bounced around all the infield positions. You also could do like Brock Holt, or any of these guys who are like super utility
There's
guys.
so many players we could use here.
Oswaldo Cabrera. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Yep. Yep.
you probably got some guys too.
So, yeah, I do. Ruben
Yeah.
Tejada
Okay. Yeah.
bounced around. I mean, this is just going to be probably Mets. Ruben Tejada, Kaz Matsui, Jose Reyes,
Mm,
because Reyes and Matsui flipped when Matsui came over from Japan, Korea, I forget. Uh,
yeah.
they made Jose Reyes play second base at first. Jose Vizcaino
Oh, yeah.
was Met Yankee,
Yeah.
uh, played a bunch of middle infield. I think he played for the Cubs, Houston.
Hmm.
Very much unheralded guy,
Hmm.
but definitely played both positions.
Yeah. I mean, any of those guys work. You also got like Tyler Wade.
Right.
Again, I'm listening to a lot of Yankees. The name that jumps out there, and you'll know better than me, but I wouldn't have thought of like Kaz Matsui,
Okay.
or I guess Jose Vizcaino.
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
I think Vizcaino is probably because Kaz Matsui, he for as a Mets fan, he was frustrating because he was supposed to be good, but he also like was is I don't know if he's the only player, but he hit like a home run on opening day 3 years in a row. There's like
mm,
weird things he did that made him
yeah,
halfway notable. Jose Vizcaino, and this is not a knock on Jose Vizcaino, but I think Vizcaino was very much like the utility player. Like Hazmatsui had
yeah,
a few years where he started and was okay.
yeah.
I think I'm thinking Vizcaino here.
I'm good with that. Yeah. The only other thing I was thinking about is this recent crop of really young Reds players, and they've had that
Mm,
infield log jam, and so many of them had to bounce around, like
yeah,
Matt McLean.
yeah. Spencer
Uh,
Steer. Did Steer? I don't know if Steer
exactly.
played
I mean,
short.
he's maybe done a lot more first base, third base, I think.
Mm.
But I'm good with Jose Vizcaino. I think that's a great one.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go. I like getting some of the older school names on here.
Yeah, nice.
0.2% for
Yeah.
Jose Vizcaino.
Okay,
All
nice.
right.
Another hidden gem.
Yeah. Oh, that's two in a row. So we get one more here, and it's a triple play, which
No
is a thing that we
pressure.
started flashing on the screen here. Rangers second base, minimum one game. So
Brock Holt.
Brock Holt is a good one. Profar started in Texas and he
Mm.
moved all around. St. Elvis Andrews probably no, Andrews might have been exclusively a shortstop for the Rangers. Maybe he might have slid over to second at some point. Um,
What about Josh Smith, the guy they've called up
Oh,
to
yeah, I know who you're talking about. I streamed
I'd
him earlier this year. The thing
right.
is,
So I know he's been playing third
mhm,
for Young. But him and Duran have been jumping around the infield. I don't know if Duran's played second.
yeah. What about like Willie Calhoun or Delino
Oh,
DeShields Jr.?
mm, good ones as well. Like Calhoun, I think. Yep. Um, you also got Rugnet Odor, but I think a lot of people remember Rugnet.
Yeah.
He was
Uh,
at second base when he punched Jose Batista, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah, very much
I mean,
memorable at second base for various reasons.
yeah,
Uh,
I mean, we got a lot of options. We've named guys who work. It's just a matter of like, I want that triple play. So,
yeah, I mean, we could bounce to a different box, but I hate doing that. I like to
no,
close it out.
let's try to knock it out.
I can't believe there's only been one Josh Smith. There's no way this is right in my mind.
Yeah. And
Uh,
I'm starting to get a little nervous. Like, has he played second base? Because I know he's
yeah,
been bouncing around positions for them, but I mean, Simeon plays second base every day for them, actually. So, like,
pretty much
he's
literally
probably
every day.
not. I mean, he just got to, yeah, I don't know that actually.
What about Brock
Um,
Holt? I know you've mentioned him a couple times. He's
Yeah, I mean, I remember Brock Holt a lot because I follow the Red Sox. I don't know how many people remember. I think people kind of remember him. I mean,
yeah,
he works here. He works here for sure. Um,
okay. Let's let's go with Brock Holt.
let's try it.
You've got to be kidding me.
What? That can't. He's. I've got nothing, man.
He was like the super utility guy.
He literally did. He just not do that for the Rangers? That's
Oh,
absurd.
well,
All right, I'm devastated. But let's just, you know
this
what?
was
My
oh.
bad. But wow, I'm shocked. All right.
Well,
Let's close it out with we're gonna
Mets
have
30.
it a Mets
Oh,
30
I'm
home run
so
season.
disappointed. Mets
Oh,
30 home run season. Bernard Gilkey,
oh, yeah.
mid 90s when the team was terrible. He had one year that I don't know if he got MVP votes, but he had like 30, it was like a 30-100 season, batted over 300, didn't even make the All-Star game, but he was very good that
Mm,
season.
love it.
Yeah. 1%. Oh my God. This is going to make it
Perfect.
worse. This is going to make the Biff even
It's
worse
gonna be
because
a fantastic score, and it's gonna
oh,
haunt us in our
uh,
dreams.
okay. So
Mets shortstop.
Mets shortstop. You have um Mike Baxter, Mike Bordick.
Who is Mike Baxter?
Mike Baxter was the guy who saved I think I want to say it was Johan Santana's no-hitter by making a
Wow.
diving catch and dislocating his shoulder, I think. He was like a reserve infield slash outfield guy.
Wow. Yeah, I
But
mean,
now I'm questioning. I know Mike Bordick played shortstop for the Mets because he
okay.
he came over in like the late 90s, early 2000s from Baltimore, and I feel confident. Ooh, you know what? I've got an even better one. I think Kevin. Oh wow, this goes back to like the first game I went to in like 1993, but I think Kevin Baez
Mm.
on like those awful, awful early 90s Mets teams.
That kind of actually rings a bell.
Why? It
I just
shouldn't.
like, yeah, I don't know. My dad's a Met fan. Like, I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. Yeah,
But
I'm
I
I'm
mean,
pretty sure
yeah,
this
if you feel
is
good about it, he only had what, a
I
3 year career. Like,
yeah, let's do it. 0.06% for Kevin Baez. I can't with this. This
oh,
box is gonna haunt me because
yeah.
this is such a good grid.
Oh,
Mets Rangers. Okay. Frank Francisco. You remember the relief pitcher who threw like a chair into the crowd?
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great, great stuff. Kenny Rogers,
Kenny Rogers is gonna say, yep.
Carlos Beltran,
Mhm.
Travis Jankowski played for the
Oh
Mets
yeah.
and was on the Rangers World Series team. You also have Nolan Ryan. Uh,
Man,
I mean, I feel like of those names, Frank Francisco's probably like that middle
that's the
relief
one.
type. Yeah. Um,
Jankowski actually, I feel like has like become a somewhat memorable name because of the
yeah,
World Series.
yeah, he has. Um,
I think Frank Francisco is the one.
Frank Francisco.
And we get to find out what this grid could have been.
I Frank Francisco, 0.2% and rarity score 108, which means that
We
this
could have
could
had
have
a
been an
single
8,
digit.
9. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Well, this is the most disappointing 108 I think we could have gotten. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hidden gems
yeah.
and the one Biff.
Drop in the comments, Rangers second base. Don't tell us Marcus Simeon.
Don't tell us.
Obviously,
I don't want Simeon. I don't want Odor. Give us
I mean, yeah,
like a real deep dive on this one,
yeah,
please.
yeah,
Because we could have gotten a single digits with a nice hidden gem there.
yeah.
All right. Well, ordinary effort on Instagram and TikTok. Check out us being less depressed. Although it's a mixed bag. We got some other terrible ones for different reasons.
Yeah.
But check us out on those platforms.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.